an institution that is concerned about the poor, poor from the Catholic community or from the Anglican community or from any community. Many schools pay lip service to the poor, and it stops with that. They preach about the poor, they preach about poverty, of course, from five-star hotels, without really rendering any service to humanity. And this is where St. Bede's has stood the test of time and has stood out as an outstanding institution that has contributed out of proportion for the cause of the poor, for which I am really grateful, and I really bow my head down to this institution, to this soil which has produced so many students. With this, I would like to close on a very happy note that I'm here to felicitate and also feel as one in spirit for the celebration of an event that has tremendous impact on the history of education, not just Anglo-Indian education, but the history of education in South India. God bless St. Bede's, and God bless the work the Salesians are doing. Thank you very much.
I deem it a great privilege and honor to invite my Lord Archbishop, His Grace, the Most Reverend Dr. A.M. Chinnappa, the Archbishop of Madras Mylapore, to deliver the centenary address on this momentous occasion.
Very Reverend and dear Father Stanislas Samikado, the Provincial, and all the former provincials, my superiors, Father Rector and Correspondent, Father Joe Andrew, Father Michael Vyagulam, the Principal, the boy for the society, fully instructed, fully formed in order that he may transform himself and the society. And for this, St. Bede's has been very faithful. We can give education today, and they are doing. Perhaps we will not be offended if I say, perhaps they give a better education, the education in general, in the general term. But the Salesian education is mainly for the poor. Education is not a paperwork, it is a formation of the mind, preparing the boy for the society, fully instructed, fully formed in order that he may transform himself and the society. And for this, St. Bede's has been very faithful.
Honorable Chief Guest, His Grace, Archbishop Dr. A.M. Chinnappa, the Provincial Reverend Father Stanislaus Swamikanna, our Rector and Correspondent, Reverend Father Joe Andrew, the Headmaster, Reverend Father V. Michael, Reverend Father Thomas, our Administrator, Assistant Headmaster Mr. Amar Raj, the Dean of Studies, Reverend Father John Peter, teachers, parents, and my dear students. A very good evening to one and all present here. I deem it a great privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. First and foremost, I would like to thank our chief guests, His Grace Dr. A.M. Chinnappa and the Provincial Reverend Father Stanislaus Swamikanna, who were so generous in spending the valuable time with us on this grand centenary celebration of our school and presiding over the function. I thank our Rector, Reverend Father Joe Andrew, Reverend Father V. Michael, our Headmaster, Reverend Father V. Thomas, our Administrator, Assistant Headmaster Mr. Amaraj, Reverend Father John Peter, the Dean of Studies, for guiding us all throughout this grand centenary celebration. It is the thankless tasks that particularly deserve thanks. Yes, dear friends, the thankless tasks of our dear teachers and brothers are the tasks that particularly deserve thanks. Thank you, dear teachers and brothers. In a very special way, I thank the parents gathered here and for taking part in this grand centenary celebration. I would like to render a special thanks to the students, each and every Bedian present here, for their best discipline and enrollment in all the activities. Our sincere thanks to the non-teaching staff for their rendered hard work throughout the program, and to Seker Radio and to Mr. Jayabalan for the sound and light setup. Our sincere thanks also go to the media, newspaper, and the TV. When you see a turtle on the fence post, you know it didn't get there by itself. When we see our school at its heights, we know it could not have been possible without the hard work and sacrifice of our dear fathers, teachers, and students. Once again, I thank everyone for accepting our invitation and taking part in the grand centenary function. Thank you very much.
We now pass on to the cultural program to once again prove to you that our students are not only excellent in academics, but also in culturals. At the very outset, we present to you the history of St. Bede's in dance by the boys of the middle school. Welcome on stage, ladies and gentlemen, the boys of the middle school of St. Bede's.
History of St. Bede's. St. Bede's Anglo-Indian Higher Secondary School had a very humble beginning with just 15 inmates, but it marks the first step towards a great dream, an institution for Anglo-Indian children. From then onwards, thousands of Anglo-Indian children have benefited from this great institution. Here is the oldest living Bedian who has a vivid dream. He finds an old diary wherein he reads and recalls the glorious past of St. Bede's. It was in 1907, during the British rule in India, that St. Bede's School was born. Lord Curzon, who was the Viceroy of India then, implemented many reforms, especially in the field of education.
I hereby declare that There will be European education for the whole of India.
His Lordship, the Bishop of Mylapore, Dom Theotonius Emmanuel Ribeiro Vieira de Castro, decided to start a school for the benefit of the Anglo-Indian children. In 1909, the Bishop of Mylapore invited the Salesian fathers to take over the running of the school and the orphanage with just 55 students, with Reverend Father George Tomatis as its director. The first batch of high school students appeared for the European High School examination in 1909. Joseph Sears secured the first rank in the Madras Presidency. The foundation stone of the first school building was laid by His Lordship, the Bishop of Mylapore, on March 19, 1913, and the building was formally opened by the Honorable Chief Justice, Sir John Wallis, on 29 April 1914, when the school moved in. The founders chose Saint Bede, an illustrious historian and scholar, as the patron of the school. The new building, begun on the 5th of March 1930, was completed in 1932, the Silver Jubilee year of St. Bede's. This was celebrated on 24th September 1932 and was presided over by Honorable Chief Justice Sir Owen Beasley, Lady Beasley, Lord and Lady Willingdon, and several church dignitaries. 1957, the Golden Jubilee year of St. Bede's. It was 1 year since the Archbishop, Dr. Louis Matthias, invited the Salesians to take over the institution. Reverend Father Tuena was the first rector and Reverend Father J.P. Mallon the first principal. This year also marked the opening of the feeder school, Dominic Savio Preparatory School. The Golden Jubilee was celebrated on August 31st and September 1st, 1957. Yet another milestone in the history of St. Bede's, in 1959, was the completion of the school auditorium. The building was blessed on 15th August 1959 by Right Reverend Francis Carvalho, Auxiliary Bishop of Madras Mylapore Diocese, and declared open by Mr. C. Subramaniam, Minister for Education. St. Bede's was the first school in the state to have an auditorium. (1982) marks the Platinum Jubilee year of St. Bede's. The school had a grand celebration which was attended by the Archbishop of Madras Mylapore, Right Reverend Dr. R. Arulappa, and other eminent state dignitaries. The headmaster was Father Stanislaus Fernandez, and the assistant headmaster was Mr. V. Arulswamy. 2007, the centenary year of St. Bede's, under the able guidance of Reverend Father Joe Andrew as rector, Reverend Father V. Michael as headmaster, Reverend Father Thomas as administrator, Reverend Father John Peter as dean, Mr. Ramalraj as the assistant headmaster, with the other fathers, brothers, staff, and non-teaching staff, this dear school of our hearts has grown enormously in the fields of education, sports, etc., giving an all-round development to all its students. This year marks the end of an eventful era and the dawn of a new one, where the flag of St. Bede's will be kept flying high as our school rises to greater glories.
எல்லா புகழும் ஒருவன் ஒருவனுக்கே நீ நதி போல ஓடிக்கொண்டீர் எந்த வேர்வைக்கும் வெற்றிகள் வேர்வைக்குமே உன்னை உள்ளத்தில் பூர்வைக்குமே எல்லா புகழும் ஒருவன் ஒருவனுக்கே நீ நதி போல ஓடிக்கொண்டீர் எந்த வேர்வைக்கும் வெற்றிகள் வேர்வைக்குமே உன்னை உள்ளத்தில் பூர்வைக்குமே முன்னால் வாடா உன்னால் முடியும் தரகரபதி தளபதி நீதா நீதா அன்பன் தலைவா வெற்றி நமக்கே அழகிய தமிழ் மகன் நீதானே எல்லா புகழும் ஒருவன் ஒருவனுக்கே நீ நதி போல
जाने प्रेम कितना मेरे मन में है, ये बेचैनी मांगती है रूप जो तेरे यौवन में